Hi everybody, Marco Carvalho here from businesscreditbuilders.org. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to turn business credit cards into growth capital. We're going to share with you what the banks don't want to tell you, how you can get free capital for your business to grow. So this video is going to help you in a couple different ways. We're going to share with you the power of business credit cards, how our business credit card funding program, how we can help you secure up to $150,000 in credit limits for your business. We're also going to talk about, for those of you who are looking to access cash from your credit cards, what are the solutions there? What can you do if you're trying to pull cash from credit cards to pay contractors, or you need cash from your credit cards for your own business? So let's get started. The comparison between a business loan and getting credit cards for your business. There's a couple different advantages. There's pros and cons to each one of them, and you have to be very strategic in the way you're going to utilize these particular funding tools. Business loans, as you know, that's a much more rigorous process when it comes to your paperwork. You're going to need more documentation with the business loan. You're going to typically need your business tax returns, maybe your personal tax returns, bank statements. Traditional business loans, they want to see your P&L statements, your financials. You're going to obviously run your personal credit. So this is a full review process, and many times they're going to also run a business credit check for you. On a business loan, typically banks want you to be in business for 2 years or longer. So the approval process for a business loan is a much more intensive. It takes much longer. With a business credit card, it's instant. It could be same day. It could be within a matter of days. And what they're mainly looking at when it comes to business credit card approvals is the age of business and the strength of your personal credit. Let's talk about interest. With interest on a business loan, it's a fixed interest rate. You know how much it's going to cost you to borrow the money. Sometimes they do have a variable rate, but you can get a lower rate on your business loan if you secure it with collateral. With a business credit card, this is free capital. There's no interest during the intro APR period. So with many business credit cards, they have these offers. We can get a 0% intro APR for up to 18 months. So this is the only type of financial vehicle. Of course, there is a buy now, pay later where there's interest free there. There's vendors that extend credit, the store credit for businesses where you have interest free for 30 days. But on a business credit card, you have a long-term period to get free capital on your purchases. Sometimes it could be 9 months, 15 months, or even 18 months at 0%. So this is a huge strategy for those of you who maybe you need credit to buy some materials, some inventory, or you have marketing expenses. But the key when using business credit cards that I always recommend is to have an exit strategy once your 0% term runs out. Because after that 0% period, if you borrow that money and use that credit, you know that's when their annual APR kicks in. You start paying interest on that money you borrow. So if you have, I call that a pay in full strategy, you know by the end of, let's say 18 months, you have 0%, you know it's going to be paid off. Then you might want to allocate a certain amount of money every single month. So by the time 18 months comes around, you've paid off that debt. Or you can pay lump sum quarterly to pay it off in 18 months. Or if you have a balance transfer strategy towards the end of 18 months. So there's all these different things, but you want to plan ahead to know that this money is interest free during that time. But what's your exit strategy? What are you going to do with that balance once it's paid off? And as you know, with a business credit card, since it's interest free, every payment you make every month, you have your minimum monthly payment, but 100% of that money is going towards the principal. It's paying down your debt. Okay, so that's the advantage there with business credit cards. Now repayment, this is another key thing to look at. With a business loan, you have a fixed payment. So regardless of if your revenues in your business goes up, so it goes down, you still have that payment. You still have to pay that set amount because it's a fixed term. It's a fixed repayment. With business credit cards, you have much more flexibility. It's a much more easier debt to service. If you have a balance on your business credit card, you can pay the minimum monthly payment, which is typically 1 to 2% of your outstanding balance, or you could pay more than the minimum. You could pay, let's say your minimum monthly payment is 50 and you want to pay 100, then that extra 50 is going to paying down the debt. Okay, so you have to pay your minimum monthly payment, plus you can pay extra. Or you could pay in lump sum. You could pay it off in 30 days if you want. So that's, you have that flexibility in business credit cards. Prepayment penalties are something that is more common with business loans. It's not at all common with business credit cards. So if you do pay your loan off early, you want to check your terms and conditions of your loan agreement if there's any type of penalty if you pay your loan off early. With business credit cards, you don't have those type of prepayment penalties. One thing I want to talk about that we get asked a lot is business owners looking for a traditional business line of credit with a 0% offer. I'm sorry, 0% offers are only for business credit cards or personal credit cards. Banks don't offer 0% offers on lines of credit, traditional lines. This is mainly for personal and business credit cards. The way traditional business lines of credit work is they're going to give you an interest rate and you get your line of credit, but as soon as you borrow, draw against that line of credit, then they're charging interest on that money you borrow. So that's where with business credit cards, that's the only type of funding product where you're going to get a 0% term for a long period of time during that introductory period. All right, so that's the comparison between business loans and business credit cards. Now I want to talk to you about some of these hidden advantages that the banks don't want you to know. Obviously, they don't let you know that during this 0% period, that's their way to get you as a customer. They want to offer this enticing offer at 0% for a period of 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. So their hope when you use that offer that you don't pay that card in full after the intro period and then they start making money on interest. Okay, so this though is the most powerful strategy for you as a business owner, even if you're a startup business where you can get free capital. Okay, for 6 to 18 months, you have interest-free money. All right, and this is free short-term capital. You don't want to use business credit cards for long-term debt servicing because that's going to compound in interest. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So look at business credit cards as a short-term capital solution. Okay, it's a tool of leverage that you can use to grow your business. Even if you're a startup, if you need that short-term capital to ramp up a marketing campaign, or if you know you're going to buy some inventory, you can return that inventory in, let's say, 60, 90 days, you're going to get a return on your money. That's a great tool to use business credit cards for those purchases. Another advantage is high credit limits. Business credit cards carry much high credit limits than personal credit cards. And when you compound that with multiple business credit cards, multiple relationships with multiple banks, you're leveraging and you're diversifying your access to credit as a business. So with our business credit card funding program, what we do is we help you secure 4 to 5 new relationships with banks. That's 4 to 5 business credit cards, and you could scale your access to credit with those 4 to 5 cards. And that's why the credit limits compound. You have much higher credit limits because you're bundling several credit cards and several relationships. This will also help you separate your personal credit from your business credit. Particular cards we acquire for you in our program only report to the business credit reporting agencies. So only debt you carry only on those particular business credit cards only show up on your business credit reports, not your personal credit. You may have a business credit card right now that also reports to your personal credit. So if you carry debt on that card, it's not only impacting your business credit, but it's also impacting your personal credit, your utilization. Credit score could take a hit because a business debt is not also reporting on your personal credit. So you don't want to have those particular cards that are going to impact you on the personal side. Now, the other thing is this helps you build business credit and the speed of this particular funding product. Now, like I talked about earlier, for business loans, it could take several weeks to several months for you to close on a business loan. With business credit cards, like I said, it could be instant, it could be a matter of days, but it's a very, very fast way for you to get access to capital quickly. Before you go to our pre-qualification page, which is businesscreditbuilders.org, you want to stay on this video because there's more information we're going to share with you that's going to help you determine not only how much you're going to qualify for, but how to start the pre-qualification process and how to pull cash out from your cards if you need cash from your credit cards. What the banks don't tell you is this is the most powerful short-term leveraging tool available for you to get free capital for your business for 6 to 18 months. It's virtually unheard of to get access to that. And this is interest-free money for you, which is powerful. And you can use this capital to help you grow your business. When you have multiple cards, you increase your leverage as a business owner. This helps you protect liquidity, so that way you're not using your own cash to, let's say, buy inventory or to spend it on marketing expenses. You're leveraging this credit that you get, and then you're going to get a return on your money by using that credit. And then you pay it obviously before the 0% period runs out. So I want to give you a quick example, which you get a return on your capital and multiplies. So let's just say, for example, You have $10,000 at 0% APR that you can run on an ad campaign, and you already have proven metrics that what your return is when you're running a campaign previously. You know that when we ran this campaign, we get this many sales. This is the profit we got from this campaign. So if I'm going to use this credit from a credit card to run this ad campaign, and let's say it generates $40,000 in sales, you pay back the money that you used in your ad campaign before the promotional period expires, and you keep that margin, that profit that generated from that ad campaign. So that you can see the power of leveraging this credit to get a return on your money using interest-free capital. Okay, so this is really, really powerful. When that banks, obviously, we're not going to tell you, use our money so you can get a return on your money and compound it and then pay us back before we can make any money on you. They're not going to tell you that, obviously, because like I said, their goal is that you don't pay off this card before the promo period runs out. Before you pre-qualify with us and you want to see how much can we acquire for you in business credit cards, the first thing I recommend for you to do is order a copy of your credit report, because we're going to need to see your credit report. We're not pulling your credit for the pre-qualification review. Our pre-qualification review is completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no obligation for you. And what's important is when you present your credit report to us, we do the review in 48 hours or less. We contact you back and we provide you funding projections. That gives you the idea to know how much can you expect to get in approvals with our business credit card funding program. More importantly, if you don't pre-qualify, we see there's an issue. Let's say you have too much debt on your credit cards, or you have too much derogatories. We're going to give you some solutions. We're going to give you some steps, some recommendations, and we may even give you some alternative solutions that you may qualify for that you're not aware of when it comes to credit or funding for your business. First and foremost, you want to go to knowmycredit.org. That's going to take you to Score IQ here, and you can see that they have a 7-day trial for $1. Then it's $34 a month. For you to monitor your credit reports, to get identity theft protection. So this is very important for you as a business owner and even as an individual to have access to your credit reports 24/7. Once a month you could see and make sure and keep track of any activity going on in your report, if there's any items that are showing up that shouldn't be there. So this is something that's very important for you, not only to have for this review, you need to have the report, but also to monitor your credit reports. What's important on your personal credit report when you pull that is what we're going to look at when you fill out a pre-qualification form. You're going to go to businesscreditbuilders.org. You're going to click this Pre-Qualify Now tab right here. And this is how you're going to submit yourself for review for business credit card funding. This is the pre-qualification form you're going to fill out. You're going to let us know how old is your business and the type of income that you have, even though we're not going to verify it with business credit card funding. That's a stated income program. Now also here, you're going to upload your credit report securely. Once you do that and we do the review, the next thing is we're going to look at your report, and this is the things that are going to determine what banks are going to issue to you when it comes to approval. We're going to look at your comparable credit. We're going to look at the size of your primary credit cards that you currently have. Banks look at that. Underwriters, when they see your report, the amount of credit they're going to extend to your business is going to be comparable to what you accomplish on the personal side. So if your highest credit limit on the personal credit card is, say, $5,000, a bank's not going to give you a $50,000 credit card if that's the highest card limit that you have on a personal credit card. So it'll be comparable. Now, if let's say you have a $20,000 American Express personal credit card, you've had it for 5 years, you have excellent payment history, and then let's say you also have a U.S. bank card with a $15,000 limit. Those are higher limits. That shows that you can manage that credit as an individual, so you can expect a really good review on the business credit card side when we give you a funding projection. So comparable credit is number one. And obviously, how long you've had those credit cards play a big role. Authorized user accounts, for those of you who are piggybacking on other people's credit, that helps you boost your score up. But that's not going to weigh into how much you're going to get in business credit card funding, because what's looked at is your primary credit cards that are in your personal name. So there's your age of your cards as well, how long have you had the cards, and who issued the cards. Are these mainstream banks? Or are these store cards? Those don't obviously work. Those don't apply for this particular type of review. Credit utilization is another factor that's going to be looked at. Your debt to income ratio. You don't want your cards all maxed out. And if you do, we're going to most likely give you a pay down recommendation. Another factor is a recently opened credit card accounts. If you had some recent activity, that's obviously going to hurt your projection. So you don't want to go and apply for cards and then come to us and say, I want some more cards, because it's too late. All right. So when you have 2 or 3 new cards you opened up in the past couple months, that's going to impact your ability to get business credit card funding. Account activity, if you have multiple loans or lines of credit that you opened up in the previous even 6 months, that's going to play a big factor. Inquiries. You don't want to have multiple inquiries, especially credit card related inquiries. Age of business. If you're a startup, that's completely fine. But if you have a business that's over 2 years old, where you're the primary owner, you're on the incorporation documents, that's going to play a role in your approval. It's going to increase your approval amounts because it shows stability. You're an older business. Existing business credit cards, if you have them, your debt load that you currently have on the cards, and what particular banks have issued those existing cards that you already have. I want to share with you some clients that actually gone through this process. And this is actual clients. Obviously, we don't give you their names or personal information, but this particular client went through our business credit card funding process. We acquired $95,000 in business credit cards, and that was across 4 cards only. And that was achieved in 25 days. So I want to give you some highlights as to what allowed them to acquire this amount in approvals with our program. Now, keep in mind, with our business credit card funding process, we handle all the processing. You're not doing the applications on your own. This particular client had a 759 credit score. The account mix on their credit report, they had a mortgage, so they're a homeowner. They had an auto loan, and they had some credit cards. On their credit cards, their highest personal credit card they had was a $17,000 Chase credit card. They've had that for 12 years, so there's a lot of history on that particular card, and that's really good. They only had 2 inquiries that were both over a year old, so this particular client of ours wasn't aggressive in getting multiple inquiries out there, and the age of the business was less than a year old. We ended up getting them this amount of credit in less than 25 days. So just think about that now, that interest-free capital that's available for this business owner for that 0% period of time. That's free money available to them. That's the power of our business credit card funding program. This client, we secured $129,000 in business credit card limits over in 30 days, and this is across 4 different cards. And that's typically the amount of cards we get is 4 to 5 cards, no more than that. The details on this particular client, they had 7 open credit cards, not just 1, they had 7. Their credit utilization was 16%. They did have installment loan and credit cards, no mortgage. Two of the highest personal credit cards, $15,000 each. One was a Capital One, the other one's a Navy Federal, and the account age was 3 years old. And they only had 1 inquiry in 2 years. And the age of business was 3 years old, which also helped in this acquisition. $129,000, all interest-free money during that intro APR period. That is powerful. The other thing, for those of you who are not familiar with our business credit card funding, you're watching this video for the very first time, this is the way our program works. We can acquire up to $175,000 in unsecured business credit cards. There's no collateral. This is a no-doc program, which basically means you don't have to provide bank statements, no financials, no tax returns. The 2 main things that are going to be used to secure this amount of credit card funding for you would be the strength of your personal credit, as well as the age of your business. You could be a brand new startup, that's fine, but remember, we require at least 680 FICO scores on 2 or more bureaus. And the other factors we're going to look at, of course, is, like I said, your comparable credit and all those other things I touched on. Each of the cards that we acquire for you will have a 0% intro APR on purchases for up to 18 months. There's going to be a variety of them depending on what the banks offer you. The minimum, like I said, at 680 does not report to your personal credit. This will help you build business credit for your company. So you're accomplishing multiple things here. You're getting interest-free money for your business during that intro period. You can help grow your company. This will protect your personal credit because it doesn't report to your personal. And this will help you build business credit as well. This is fast funding, 14 to 20 days. That's how long our process is, and we're done. So you go to businesscreditbuilders.org, and you're going to click on that Pre-qualify Now tab to get started. The other thing I want to talk about that I mentioned earlier is for those of you who you have access to all this interest-free money, but you need cash. Let's say you have a vendor or you have a supplier or you have a contractor or you need cash to close on, let's say, an investment property for your business. Well, that's where there are services like Melio that allows you to use your credit cards but pay the recipient in cash. So this is a great service for those of you who are looking to leverage the strength of the credit that you currently have, whether it's business or personal. And let's say you want to pay a contractor in cash or pay a title company via a wire transfer, pay vendors in cash. You can use this particular service, which is called Melio, and they charge a 2.9% transaction fee. But this is treated as a purchase with your credit card issuer. So if you have a 0% offer, let's say a $10,000 card that we acquired for you, you can use that card, use this service. They charge 2.9%, but that still falls under your 0% purchase period with a service like Melio. But you're paying the recipient is receiving cash from this company, Melio. They're paying them either an ACH deposit or they're paying with a physical check. All right, so that's how powerful this particular service is. So it's really simple, step by step. You go to paidbusinessexpenses.com. That's going to take you right to Melio's website. That's our link. So of course we get credit for referring you, but this is the simple process to set it up. Now for those of you who can't use Melio, let's say you need the cash for your own business. Melio does not allow you to have the cash deposited into your own business account. This service is ideal if you're trying to pay a recipient in cash using your credit cards. Now we have a service called our liquidation service. That's a service where we fill in that gap. So if you need the funds from your credit card, the cash to be deposited into your own business account, then you can make an inquiry on our cash liquidation service. That's a service that's available to you. You can go to our website, businesscreditbuilders.org, and just click on the contact us form and fill out an email and say, I'd like to set up an appointment for cash liquidation. And then we can send you the calendar link and you can book a call for that and get details. But that's the way for you to leverage your credit cards for cash, whether it's business and or personal. For those of you who are seeing this and say, I want to get business credit card funding, but my credit has some issues on it. I have some late payments or my credit scores are like 650, 600. How do I get my credit scores up? Then I do recommend working on your personal credit. So if you have some outstanding collections or you have some late payments or too many excessive inquiries, then you can also repair your personal credit. So I definitely recommend for you to check out our AI Credit Pro software. This is something we talked about on a previous video, and you can watch it right here if you want to get more details on this service. But this is a great program, and this particular credit repair AI software is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does require you to subscribe to our credit bureau monitoring service so the credit reports can upload into the software, and it's customized. It creates customized disputes for you, so it's really, really powerful. So when you go to our website, businesscreditbuilders.org, or use the link that we just shared with you on the PowerPoint, you just go here and you see AI Credit Repair. Just click on that, and that's going to take you to our AI Credit Pro page. And there's actually a demo video in here that walks you through how our service works. And to get started, you just click Get Started. And you fill this out to register. It's free for the software. The software doesn't cost you anything, but you do need, like I said, to subscribe to the credit bureau service, which I believe is around $30 a month. That allows your credit reports to upload into the software. For those of you who want to learn about building business credit further, check out our business credit building system. This is our step-by-step business credit building system where we give you many different sources to help you build business credit. Many of them don't even require a credit check, like your vendors, suppliers, how to add your utilities to your business credit reports. So if you're looking for that hands-on where you want to do it yourself, check out our business credit building system. So if you found this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. With that, make it a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.